This broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. Here's your 2-minute time check. Mark. Mark. "30 seconds till broadcast." Mark.
From the Auburn Sports Network and Playfly Sports, Auburn baseball is on the air. 25 NCAA tournaments, 8 regional titles, and 6 trips to the College World Series. Exclusive game day coverage begins with the leadoff show. Now, let's go out to the ballpark.
Are you ready for this? Tonight is the last home midweek game for Auburn in the regular season. The Tigers close an 8-game homestand against Alabama State. Good evening and War Eagle from Sanford Stadium, Hitchcock Field at Plainsman Park. With John Cohen and Quinn Burkeen in our Skyview Auburn studio. I'm Andy Bertram. Auburn reached the midway mark of the SEC, taking 2 of 3 from Kentucky last weekend. On Sunday, Alex Petrovic twirled a 7-inning shutout. Tonight, the Tigers look for their first midweek game in 3 weeks. Alabama State comes to the Plains after a sweep of Alabama A&M. The Hornets are 18-16 overall, 8-7 in the SWAC. Auburn goes with Griffin Graves tonight. The junior left-hander is making his first start of the season after a preseason injury. Alabama State counters with Auburn high product Caleb Sanders. The senior left-hander is 0-1 with an ERA of 14.18. When we return, the Butch Thompson pregame report. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Download the Auburn Athletics app, powered by War Eagle Mobile. Buy tickets, be a part of game day giveaways, shop the latest Auburn gear, and manage your War Eagle Plus subscription. And listen to every broadcast from the Auburn Sports Network, even when multiple games are happening simultaneously on the official mobile app of Auburn Athletics. Download it now.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little things. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance breaks, and on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Kids, movie night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like cookouts, cornhole with friends, ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad, the one with the feta, oh, sorry, or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow want it.
Game day coverage of Auburn baseball continues now with the Butch Thompson pregame report.
Hard to believe we are at the last midweek game of this regular season.
It's unbelievable. It's not halfway. It's well over. And got 5 more weeks. We got 2 SEC series. But the last midweek game of the year, I think it all hit us a little bit strange, knowing that that's the reality of tonight hosting the Alabama State. Looking forward to getting right back on the field after a good series again. And this beautiful weather's continued a few more days, and we're about to hit the road again. So it's nice to get another game here at Plainsman Park tonight.
Alabama State comes in after a sweep this past weekend, and they always come here. The target is on Auburn's back. The Hornets come down I-85.
Yep, and we felt that all year long. It won't be any different tonight. So this is good. I was among a history lesson since I'm a history major with the continental divide, from the Bering Straits in Alaska all the way down to South America, at the Strait of Magellan and the highest point in Colorado. That rain hits and it one way or the other. I feel like we're at a divide at the halfway point. Which way are we wanting to go as a team? I think tonight starts that journey for us. And that rain either hits that continental divide, either flows to the Pacific, or the water flows to the Atlantic or the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. What is it called? Whatever it's called now.
The Gulf.
And I want everything flowing back this way. So that's us staying together, not seeing this as a crossroads, but seeing this as, man, what an opportunity our team has. The teams we've already played and the host of teams, beginning tonight that's in front of us. Man, we need to absolutely stay together and enjoy this because we've learned all the lessons. I think the team is more prepared for what's left the second half by what we went through in the first half. I wish we could have done a couple more steps, but I think the lessons learned, if applied properly and we stay together, can absolutely make a huge difference for us.
Part of that journey is Griffin Graves' first start of the season tonight.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we get him out there. And the goal would be to get him out the first inning. He got 2 outs the other night. And, knocking that rust off, it's really hard jumping in the middle of the season. Eddie Madrigal's done it, and it's worked in there. He got to play all 3 days at first base for us in this Kentucky series. So huge for him. Griffin, the best way to get him going to make a difference and help us is to work through the cobwebs, and hopefully he can get an inning. It's probably 2 max anyway, so we're just trying to get him 3 to 6 outs here, and I don't think that would exclude him from, contributing to the Florida series if he looked great tonight. So get out of that first inning, go be able to do it a second time, and then cycle and see if you can get back to help us for a big weekend. But I'm excited to see him go. The last 2 weeks has not been what we wanted on a Tuesday. Can Griffin Graves help us flip that script, and can we come out and play great baseball tonight to kind of reclaim, resettle the last midweek of the year right here?
Last week or so, you've talked about 6 runs. That's the number you're looking for. Is that only in SEC play, or is that in your non-conference as well?
And we didn't get that out of thin air. That's over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's our team about 80%. For us, it's just a good offensive goal, and it's hard, right? It's hard to produce that. But if I was coaching any team in the Southeastern Conference, from looking at the last few years, it'd be the same message, how big that is. And that leadoff man, if 25 of our 28 runs just come in this Kentucky series from getting a leadoff man on, and the difference in you winning ball games at an 80% rate, getting to 6 runs, that's how you function. And, I want it to function where we get to 6 like we did on Sunday against Kentucky, and then turn it into 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. But that is a line. That is a defined line of 5 or less or 6 or more for our program. And I'm telling you, it's for any team in our league. And just watch. It doesn't stand up in necessarily one game, but you over the long haul, the second half of this season, whether you're an Auburn fan or a fan of another team in our league, you just look and see how big a deal it is to be able to get to 6.
Here's another number that has stood up with this ball club. You out-hit your opponent. You're undefeated this year.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I think George even went back for me on that. I think we're like 120 and 17 the last 4 or 5 years in that category. So that's a big one. And but that one comes true in a big way. So those are some of the things we're preaching, but also trying to get our guys to simplify. And the last 2 weekends, 4 of those 6 games, we absolutely produced offense, and we're holding on to that a little bit to see if we can absolutely put the ball in play and do some things. I really loved the last 2 game 3s of SEC play, only 2 strikeouts. That's been huge for us. So a little bit of growth. A couple of guys looked a little more settled that we're really counting on to do big things. And when we can play together as an entire lineup, it gets pretty exciting. I think Gregorio, Madrigal have done some things, a couple of older players. Thought Chris Rumble and his at-bats, as I've seen this year. Bingham and the freshman, and Eric Guevara is probably the leader of all of us with consistency here. So Bub hitting a big home run early in the ball game. Just the 2 home runs made a big difference. We've been clamoring for damage. Man, the second half with these guys could be pretty exciting with the pitching that we've done thus far. If we can keep that going, get this offense kind of settled and performing at our watermark, makes us excited about the second half.
All the best tonight, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
The starting lineups are presented by Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
And we welcome you back to Plainsman Park. Here are the starting lineups tonight. First of all, for the Hornets of Alabama State, 18-16 on the season. Devin Chandler will lead it off. He's the left fielder. Braden Devine, the shortstop, will bat second. Miguel Oropeza, the right fielder, will bat third. Miguel Jenkins is the DH, batting fourth. Trey Callaway, the catcher, will bat fifth. Jackson Williams will bat sixth and play first base. Alex Espaillat, the second baseman, will bat seventh. Aiden Malpass, the center fielder, bats eighth. And Fabian Santana, the third baseman, bats ninth. Chandler, Devine, Oropeza, Jenkins, Callaway, Williams, Espaillat, Malpass, and Santana for Alabama State. On the hill for Alabama State is Auburn High School product, Caleb Sanders. For the Auburn Tigers, Bristol Carter will lead it off. He's in center field. Chase Freilich will bat second and play first base tonight. Eric Guevara, the third baseman, bats third. Chris Rembert, the second baseman, will bat cleanup. Bub Terrell in left field bats fifth. Ethan Bingham in sixth. He's in right field. Logan Gregorio with the grand slam on Sunday will be the DH batting seventh. Brandon McCrane, the shortstop, bats eighth. And Lucas Steele behind the plate tonight, batting ninth for Auburn. Carter, Freilich, Guevara, Rembert, Terrell, Bingham, Gregorio, McCrane, and Steele for Auburn. And on the hill, making his first start of the season, left-hander Griffin Graves. When we come back, the first inning play-by-play. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Enjoy baseball and softball season on the Plains with live sports radio. Presented by Alpha Insurance. Auburn Sports Network broadcasts are available with no delay at both Plainsman Park and J.B. Moore Field. Every grand slam, stolen base, and strikeout. Yours with no delay. Look for the live sports radio kiosks around the ballpark. Live sports radio lets you take the broadcast with you at every football game. Plus, home men's and women's basketball games, baseball, and softball. Live sports radio presented by Alpha Insurance.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. The CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown and Port, Chicago, Illinois.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to Plainsman Park. Starters tonight for Auburn defensively. Chase Freilich at first, Chris Rembert at second, Eric Guevara at third, Brandon McCrane at short. Ethan Bingham in right, Lucas Steele behind the plate. On the hill for the Tigers, making his first start, Griffin Graves. Junior lefty, 5'10", 175 out of Jackson, Tennessee, Trinity Christian High School. No record, an ERA of 14.5, making his second appearance. Went 2/3 of an inning last week against Jacksonville State, giving up 3 runs on a hit. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. First pitch weather forecast brought to you by Jackson Services. When your comfort quits, Jackson Services shows up. Heating, air, and plumbing done right the first time. Family owned since 1973. Call Jackson Services today. Feel the difference. Jackson Services, delivering comfort, creating trust. 81 degrees at game time tonight. Mostly clear, sunny skies overhead. Very little wind to speak of out of the southwest at 6 miles per hour. Welcome in, Auburn Athletic Director John Cohen. Hello, John. How are you?
Doing great.
Glad to have you with us tonight.
Best seat in the house.
Lovely. Glad to have you here tonight. Tigers in the pinstripe, white pinstripes tonight. Blue numerals and lettering. The blue ball caps, blue bills, the orange AU across the front. Alabama State, the away cream trousers with the black tops. And the first pitch from Graves is a foul back. A massive cut by Devin Chandler, batting .301 on the year. 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. Alabama State comes in 18-16 on the season, coming off of a sweep of Alabama A&M. Guevara plays even with the bag at third. The pitch just missed off the outside corner. Braden Folks, make that Brandon Folks behind the plate. Kevin Sweeney at first, Morris Hodges at second, and Brian Hale and at third. Stretch in the 1-1. Fouled up and out of play off the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. Sun for the shortstop, certainly McCrane. Most definitely Bub Terrell in left and Bristol Carter a bit in center right now. 1-2 pitch from Graves. Here it is. Swing and a drive into center, but right at Bristol Carter. And that's the first out. We're underway. 1 out here in the top half of the first, and Braden Devine comes to the plate. Shortstop for the Hornets, batting .315. A couple homers, 18 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. A couple stolen bases, 5 attempts on the season. And again, Guevara plays even with the bag now, a step in front of the bag at third. The pitch, and it's a tapper foul up the third base side and off the front of the Auburn dugout, 0-1. Well, one thing you want to see is Griffin Graves throwing strikes early on here tonight for the Tigers.
Yeah, and you got to know Griffin's excited about being out there. He's had to sit down for a large portion of this year so far.
0-1, off-speed pitch, swing and a miss, 0-2. Lucas Steele behind the plate. Good to give Chase Fralick a night off behind the plate. He's at first base for the Tigers.
I'm so impressed with Lucas behind the plate. The chances he's gotten behind the plate, he's made the most of it. He's a very, very good defensive catcher.
0-2 to Devine. The pitch. Chopper, third base side. Topped it. Count remains 0 balls, 2 strikes. For Graves, it was a lat muscle that gave him problems.
Yeah.
It kind of stretched through the season. First action was last week against Jacksonville State. First start tonight. They'd like to get a couple innings out of him and then go to the bullpen tonight. 0-2. Got him swinging with a high fastball. First strikeout of the night for Graves and the Tigers. The K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. What'd you see out of that at bat?
Yeah, his early contact, and then he elevates with a fastball. But, the thing for Griffin right now is he might be the only guy on the field really who is viewing this as, his heart's pumping right now. This isn't a midweek game for him. This is like, I got to get back on the weekends, and this is my opportunity to do that.
Oropeza, Miguel, the right fielder, takes the first pitch a little bit in. 1 ball and no strikes. He's their leading hitter at .371, 4 homers and 31 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter, 2 outs and nobody on. Stretch in the 1-0. Line drive on a hot Rembert. Makes the stab and throws to first, and it's a quick inning. Griffin Graves looks to the heavens after a 1-2-3 inning, and the Tigers about to come to the plate. No score as Auburn comes to the plate in the first, and this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Auburn baseball tickets are on sale now. Single-game general admission tickets are available for as low as $15. Prices fluctuate based on the opponent and day of the week. 8-game mini plans are on sale for $112. Flex plan vouchers are available for home games excluding premium SEC series. Learn more about the pricing structure and availability and buy your tickets today by going to the Tickets tab in the Auburn Athletics app or visiting aubtix.com. Your place in Plainsman Park this season with Auburn baseball.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the little. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, for midday dance break, and evening entertainment. We're also here to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips busy programs. So enjoy them.
Movie night.
And we'll do the rest. AlabamaPower.com. Follow us on social to learn more.
Alabama State retired in order in the top of the first. Here's the defense for the Hornets. Jackson Williams at first. Alex Espayet at second. Fabian Santana at third. Braden Devine at short. Devin Chandler in left. Aiden Malpass in center. Miguel Oropaiza behind in right field. And Trey Calloway behind the plate. And on the hill, Caleb is an Auburn High School graduate. Lefty, 6'1", 235, a senior. Also played at Bishop State Community College. 0-1 this season with a 14.18 ERA. Just his second to start, making his 11th appearance. 13 in the third innings, 26 runs, 21 earned on 19 hits, 8 strikeouts, 17 walks, a homer, 22 the average. You talked about Braves and the heart-pumping for him. You know that Sanders back here at Auburn, heart-pumping with this young man as he gets the start against his hometown school.
Andy, how many Division I players has Auburn High School produced over the years? It's just remarkable.
Yes, it is. And this is another one of those. In the Sanders, he will get Bristol Carter, Chase Fralick, and Eric Guevara. For Auburn in the bottom of the first, no score. Tigers to the plate after taking 2 of 3 this past weekend against Kentucky. Carter batting .330 homers, 21 runs batted in, leads Auburn with 23 stolen bases. Sanders is ball on the inside corner for a strike. Second start of the year for Caleb Sanders. Closed stance in the pitch. It misses low, a ball and a strike. Sanders comes in. He has 8 strikeouts, but 17 walks coming into play tonight. A ball and a strike to Carter. Comes the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 88 on the fastball from Caleb Sanders. Saw one Sanders jersey wandering around the ballpark early tonight. There's probably a bunch of folks rooting for that young man tonight. And Carter takes the off speed. It misses just low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count.
I also saw the Bama State jerseys.
Yes, indeed.
Which was a lot less attractive than just Alabama State.
Good too. Jammed him, but Carter got enough of it to foul it back off the screen.
Andy, I got to tell you, Bristol Carter is a young man that when he steps to the plate, when he's in the ballpark, everybody on the other side knows where he is and what he's doing. I mean, he is a disruptor, distractor, and you got to have that component to win baseball games at this level.
2-2 to the disruptor, and he sends it up the middle for a base hit. A 2-2 pitch, and he lined it up the middle, a one-hopper to the center fielder Malpass. And the Tigers have a runner aboard here in the top, or the bottom of the first. That was almost on cue, John. Nicely done.
Well, I want people to know all of those were compliments.
Yes, absolutely. Here's Chase Fralick. He's at first base tonight for the Tigers, batting .318, second on the ball club with 6 home runs, and second with 27 runs batted in. Throw to first, and Carter is back. Teams have been successful, stealing 47 out of 59 bases against Alabama State this year. The pitch. A late start for Carter. The throw saddles into center.
Oh, dear.
And Bristol comes up, and he's rubbing just below his right knee. He slid in feet first. I don't know if the ball got him.
No, I don't.
Or was it, did he just jam the knee when he slid in?
Yeah, I think he jammed it up. But he popped right back up.
Yeah. He's out there. He stays there. It's his 24th stolen base of the year. A ball and no strikes to Fralick. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Chase takes it low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. So Carter now 24 of 25 this year in stolen bases. Go back, almost sailed that into center. Caleb turned and threw off the back of the mound and almost lost his balance, and as a result, almost sailed that one into center field. Good job by Devine to corral that one.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
It's a big step off the back, wasn't it? Carter goes 2-0 outside and no throw to third. The pitch is a strike.
So this is a part of the game, the scoring part of the game, that I don't know as much about, Andy. You need to teach me. Is that a stolen base, or is that?
I hate that rule that you can call that not a stolen. If you choose not to throw, big deal in my book.
Agreed.
2-1. Fralick takes it low. It's 3-1. If you choose not to throw, that's on you.
Agreed.
If he goes, it should be a stolen base. So we're giving him his 25th. How about that?
He deserves it. The disruptor.
That's right. 3-1 the count to Fralick. Carter at third. The pitch. Outside corner. Ooh, chase it. Toss the bat away. Count goes full to Fralick. I guarantee you Fralick wants to be up there swinging the bat.
He does. And that's a strike.
Yeah.
I feel very confident in saying that was a strike.
I'm not going to question you. 3-2 the count to Fralick. Carter at third. The pitch. Chase lifts one down the left field line. It's curving and foul. About 3/4 of the way up the War Eagle wall. Power to the opposite field for Chase Fralick.
Hey, this is one of the interesting things about the difference between being a freshman and a sophomore. He just absolutely crushes one off the wall. It's fouled by about 5 feet. He sprints to first. The freshman sprints back. And then the freshman gets to the plate, and they're exhausted. After a year of that, at this level, you will see the sophomore now slowly walk back to the batter's box and gather themselves so they can get their heart rate under control.
All right. 3 balls and 2 strikes again to Fralick. Carter at third, nobody out. Auburn first inning, no score. Stretching the pitch. That misses low. Fralick is aboard with a walk. So runners at the corners now for Auburn and nobody out. And here's Auburn's hottest hitter coming to the plate. Eric Guevara is hitting .366 for the Tigers. He has moved into the league and has done it, I think, at the most impressive time of the year because he's done it in the heart of the Southeastern Conference schedule.
He is on fire.
Yeah.
Everything that touches his barrel right now is coming off between 95 and 105 miles an hour. I mean, he is squaring it up.
Carter at third and Fralick at first, and the pitch to Guevara. Swing, it got jammed. He flies it into center. That should be enough to score Carter from third. Mal passes underneath this one. His throw will come into second. Carter trots home, and the Tigers lead 1-0 on Guevara's 24th run batted in of the season.
Here's what I like about that, Andy. He is telling himself, I'm going to get 3 swings at this thing. I'm not going to take a bunch of pitches. I got to get up to the base. If I miss underneath, great. If I hit the ball hard in the middle of the field, great. But I'm going to give myself 3 swings to get this done because what you don't want to do is get to 2 strikes right there without getting a swing off. And that's really good offensive baseball.
Run home for Auburn in the first. Chris Rembert to the plate now for the Tigers. And the first pitch misses a little bit low to the Auburn second baseman, preseason All-American, hitting .330, 3 homers, 28 runs batted in. Fralick at first base, 1 down, and Auburn leads 1-0. Here's the pitch. Rembert takes it a little bit up, maybe out. 2 balls and no strikes to Rembert.
Andy, do you feel like Chris has been put, until this past weekend, put a little bit of undue pressure on himself?
I think it's natural after the freshman year and this summer that he had. 2-0. Swinging line drive left center field. That's down for a base hit. Fralick around second base, and he'll be held there. Good job by the center fielder. Malpass to get it back in. And Rembert continues his hot play from the weekend, John, with that single into left center field.
When he's under control and when he's squaring the barrel up and he's not trying to get too big, he is one of the most dangerous hitters in college baseball.
Runners at first and second now for Auburn with 1 down, and here's Bub Terrell. His 7th home run, a 2-run shot in the first inning on Sunday. Tigers went on to win that game 11-0 in 7 innings against Kentucky. Stretching the pitch to Bub. Swing, got a miss. A little bit late on an 86-mile-an-hour fastball.
And there's some effort there. You know, I can always tell when Bub's feeling good because he's going to have the effort swings. When he's a little tired, he takes a little off, and he's a much better hitter.
0-1, swing and a miss. That was a fastball as well, an 88. And Bub quickly behind 0-2. Bub hitting .292, a team leading 7 homers, 22 runs batted in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Terrell fouls back the fastball.
He was going so good in the first 15 games of the year because his 2-strike approach was just effortless. Everything was in the middle of the field. He was the whole ballpark. He's just got to take the – he's such a strong kid, and he just got to take the effort out of that swing, and he's going to be a great one.
0-2, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sunshine over the through the mound right now into left field. Left fielder Chandler having to screen the sun with his glove out there. Stretch by Sanders in the pitch. Up the middle to the shortstop. Could be 2. Flips to second for 1. The throw to first is in time for a double play. Divine to Espaillat and to Williams, and the inning comes to a close. A run on 2 hits, no errors. A man left for Auburn. We're through 1, with the Tigers leading Alabama State 1-0. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 to 2025 calendar year interest-free reported total sales.
Let's be honest. Senior living shouldn't feel senior, and it's definitely not all about yelling, bingo! At Atlas Senior Living, we focus on great care, great people, and yes, great days. And no one telling you can't have dessert before dinner, well, maybe once. And with locations throughout the Southeast, chances are there's an Atlas community closer than you think. Atlas Senior Living, exceptional care, even better living. Visit atlasseniorliving.com to find a community near you and schedule a tour today.
But John Cohen, our on-site producer tonight is Jacob Hillman, Quinn Burkeen in our Skyview Auburn studios. I'm Andy Burcham. Glad to be with you on a beautiful evening for baseball. Tigers beat Alabama State 1-0 through 1. Tonight's second inning is presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you. 10 pitchers in the first inning for Griffin Graves in his first start of the season, setting down Alabama State in order.
Yeah, for him tonight, it's going to be all about the strike zone. You know, you just got to get ahead. I tell you, I'm so impressed with this Auburn Tiger pitching staff. They have thrown a ton of strikes this year and competed very well. In any of the games that we've struggled in conference games, it hadn't been because of pitching for sure. It's kept us in almost every single game. So that group has really been productive.
Nigel Jenkins will lead it off in the second, the DH, batting .327, 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter. Takes the first pitch from Graves a little bit down at 85, a ball and no strikes. Jenkins, Callaway, and Williams for the Hornets in the second. There's a foul back on a fastball at 90 from Graves, a ball and a strike.
Andy, you're just talking about the sun in this ballpark right now. It's a little tricky, especially if you're playing left field. Right now, the 2 guys on the left side in the infield are in shade, but the outfield in the sun.
1-1. Drops in for a strike. Heck, the pitcher right now having to fight the sun a little bit as well.
It's tough. When you're trying to get into your prep movement, like as a left fielder, and your glove is up to shield, and you're trying to move and create momentum for yourself, it's really difficult.
1-2. Got him swinging with a fastball away. Very similar to that at bat by Divine in the first. Went up and away for strike 3. His second strikeout. The K counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1.
So that fastball, a 2-seam fastball, it's going to have more restriction. It's going to be a little tighter spin. That's 15-28, but it's going to create some sink because there's so much friction on the seams of the baseball.
1 out, and the first pitch to Callaway misses low and away. Callaway batting .273, a team leading 6 homers, 22 runs batted in. Auburn on top 1-0. We're at the top of the second. Stretch and the pitch. Callaway swings and misses at 178. Ball and a strike.
I really like the early action. That means we're challenging the strike zone. We want to engage our defenders. That's exactly what Butch Thompson wants to see.
1-1 to Callaway. The pitch. Fly ball down the right field line. Long run for Bingham. Near the line, and In foul ground, he makes the catch.
Bingaman played that very, very well most of the time, and you see somebody run to the wall, and then all of a sudden they're going to drift back to the playing surface, and he sat right on that ball. He ran to a spot and sat right underneath that baseball. That's really, I tell you, Bingaman has played well defensively at first. He's played well in the outfield. You know, for a big fella, he's awfully athletic.
Here's Jackson Williams with 2 outs and nobody on the pitch. Misses low for 1-1. Big first baseman for the Hornets, batting .267. Tied for the team lead with 6 homers and leads the Hornets with 27 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter awaits the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a 91-mile-an-hour heater.
Not cheated. That's a big swing.
Williams, 6'4", 210, a sophomore from Smyrna, Georgia, and Walker School. A ball and a strike to Williams. Here's the pitch. It's away. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs and nobody on for the Hornets in the top of the second. Stretch and the 2-1 pitch. A little bit low. Steele tried to bring it up. It's 3-1. Close. Called ball 3. Good pitch, regardless if he gets the call or not. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball to Guevara. Has to fight the sunshine a little bit and throws to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the second straight inning for Griffin Graves. 3 up, 3 down for the Hornets. We move to the bottom of the second. Auburn 1, Alabama State 0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
We believe our work is more than just AC and plumbing repairs. It's about serving people with integrity and care. As a Christian-owned company, we take Colossians 3:23 to heart. Whatever you do, work at it all with your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men. That's why at ACCS and Plumbing, we do the job right the first time and always stand behind our work. As a proud Marine dealer, we're committed to offering top-quality products and faith-driven values. Give us a call today or visit accsauburn.com to learn more. That's accsauburn.com.
Life moves fast. Shouldn't your checking account keep up? Mood Explore Checking from Mac Credit Union. No monthly fees, no minimum balance requirement. Enjoy perks like access to your paycheck up to 2 days a month. Earning rewards that can be turned into cash each time you spend with your Max debit card. Plus with 24/7 digital banking and an easy-to-use mobile app. Managing your money is quick and effortless. Start exploring today at mymax.com/explore. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Ethan Bingaman, Logan Gregorio, and Brandon McCrane for the Tigers in the second. Auburn leads at 1-0. In the bottom half of the frame against Alabama. Looking for fresh seafood? Wharf Casual Seafood serves seafood sourced from American waters. Not a seafood fan? No problem. They also serve burgers, salads, chicken, and more. Wharf Casual Seafood with 6 locations across Central Alabama. Ethan Bingaman to lead it off for Auburn made a nice running catch on a ball down the right field line with that, right where that barrier gets closer and closer to the line down there in the right field corner. The top of this inning. Batting .355 this season, 5 homers and 23 runs batted in for Bingaman. The pitch. Swings at the first pitch and skies it into center. Malpass is there. Make the first catch. 1 out, or 1 pitch and 1 out here in the second inning.
And you're a seafood fan?
I am.
Because you're Midwestern guys. You Midwestern guys, you like your red meat now.
And I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that Gulf seafood at the wharf.
I've lived here since 1988.
Yeah,
so,
you're pretty much.
I've made the adjustment.
As they used to say on Seinfeld, you're ensconced.
Well put. Here's Logan Gregorio. First pitch to him. It misses low for ball 1. He had the big blow on Sunday. His grand slam. We started at that point talking about the 10-run rule on Sunday. There's a swing on a ground ball. It's a base hit up the middle. Gregorio is on with a 1-out single.
That's a highly functional swing. It's just short, quick, effortless. Really, that's a professional looking at bat right there.
So a 1-out single for Gregorio. And here's Brandon McCrane. redshirt freshman shortstop for the Tigers. Throw to first, close, but Gregorio is back.
And he's so impressed with Brendan McCrane. Really, this year has been his first playing time, and I think he's handled it so well on both sides, defensively and offensively.
Inside corner and a strike. Another throw to first. And Gregorio is back. He does not have a stolen base attempt this season. 0-1 to McCrane. Line drive, base hit into left center field. Gregorio was going to make sure that the shortstop Divine didn't come up with that one. Back-to-back singles for the Tigers. I'm sure that McCrane from the Salem area and Sanders from Auburn High have played against each other.
You read my mind. That's
through the high schools and beyond. That wasn't their first.
No, not their first rodeo. No, those guys, they had to have competed against each other for a long time.
So first and second with one out for Auburn. And here's Lucas Steele, switch hitter batting right-handed against the lefty. And the first pitch finds the inside corner for a strike.
I tell you, Lucas deserves to get a break somewhere in here. He's hit so many balls hard in key situations and just hadn't gotten paid off for it yet.
0-1. Tapper foul. One hopper to Bub Terrell, who made the bare hand stab over there.
Light switch is always on in the dugout, baby.
You better be. You better be. Quickly 0-2 to Steele. Gregorio at second and McCrane at first as Sanders tries to work out of a jam in the second. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He was completely fooled by that off-speed delivery. 77, and Steele is down on strikes. First strikeout of the night for Sanders. It brings the top of the order up for Auburn and Bristol Carter. He singled up the middle and scored in the first.
The disruptor steps to the plate.
2 stolen bases. He stole second and stole third, stole without a throw back in the first. Pitch to him. Missed inside, off-speed pitch at 77.
So if you're in that other dugout, you're saying, okay, this guy could bunt. He could push. He can kill to the left side.
They're going to keep the infield back right now.
Yeah.
Santana well behind the bag at third. Push it up the first base side as well. Pitch. Down and away.
I mean, he is making the other team adjust to him. He is forcing his will on almost every opponent that he plays against.
Stretch in the 2-0. Bristol takes a strike. Activity in the bullpen. Trey Power, a lefty, warming up in the pen for Alabama State. 2 balls and a strike to Carter. Runners at first and second. 2 outs in the Auburn second. Tigers lead 1-0. The pitch. Bristol to the shortstop. Gets there, flips to second for the out, and the inning comes to a close. No runs, 2 hits. The Bears and 2 men left for Auburn. We're through 2 at Plainsman Park. And Auburn leads Alabama State 1-0. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Gets you close to Sirius XM College Sports Radio. For the win! Let's go! Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go. Deep to center field. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans in an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Back to the ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
Griffin Graves has been terrific for Auburn through 2 innings. To set down all 6 men he's faced with a couple of strikeouts. And he will get the bottom third of the order for Alabama State in the third. And the third inning tonight, presented by the Vance Law Firm, At the Vance Law Firm, they say dial 334-333-3333. Tigers on the road this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 6 o'clock on Thursday, 4:30 on Friday, and 11 a.m., those are Central Times, on Saturday in Gainesville. Tigers in Florida. Auburn's track team is in Florida this weekend. Softball is in Florida this weekend. Baseball at Florida this weekend. We'll be right here for A-Day, 2 o'clock on Saturday.
That's right.
Saturday afternoon at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Alex Expiat will lead it off. First pitch to Alex. Swing, got a miss. And Equestrian is just a little further south in Ocala, Florida, the NCEA championship.
Travolta Town.
Is that right? Is that where he has his airport?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in Ocala, yeah.
01-02 now. Swing and a miss.
It's one of the great horse capitals of the entire country.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It's one of the great facilities you're going to find in the world.
Oh, my goodness.
For equestrian.
Can't even imagine what that cost.
0-2. Fly ball down the right field line. That's trouble. Long run for Bingaman near the corner. He gets there to make the catch. Ran that one down and was able to square up before he made the catch in right field.
You know, Ethan, he makes it look easy, and that's a big body run into the baseball right there. What's really impressive is you see outfielders, they'll drift, and they'll have a circular type of path. He runs right to a spot, locks his feet down, gets right to it. That's impressive.
Here's Aiden Malpass, the center fielder. Batting $145 on the season. Lefty takes a strike. Hey, before the game today, Jacoby Thorpe and Kyansola Ajay throwing out the first pitches for the Tigers. You talk about a couple guys that can run a little bit.
They will be putting medals on their chest, not only the NCAAs, but
that one misses low 1-1.
Yeah, for their country also. I mean, those are impressive guys.
Jacoby Thorpe won the 110 hurdles last year in the outdoors. Did it in the 60 in the indoors this year. 1-1. Ground ball right side. Rembert to his left. Fields and throws to first for the out. And Ajay won the 60 indoor national championship, and he will be one of the favorites when Auburn hosts the SEC championships coming up next month and in the NCAA championships out in Eugene.
Yeah, Andy, you could put a glass of water on their head when they're running. That's how still their head is running full speed. I mean, those guys are just poetry in motion. It's remarkable to watch those guys.
2 down for Fabian Santana. First pitch. It misses low. From Puerto Rico, batting .235, a homer and 14 batted in. Pitch on the way. Good job by Steele to bring that one up. A ball and a strike on a fastball. 92 from Graves. Griffin working off the stretch, the 1-1. Bounces up there and blocked by Steele.
You want to talk about depth in a pitching staff. How would you like to be in that other dugout and say, yeah, this is a guy just trying to work his way back in. You know, he's just a guy who had unbelievable numbers a year ago. And that's how deep this pitching staff is. What a great job the staff has done putting this staff together.
2 balls and a strike to Santana. Fastball high, 3 balls and a strike. Graves was thought to be a weekend starter for Auburn coming in when he developed the trouble. And boy, Auburn, as far as starting pitching is concerned, the Tigers have incredible depth, and especially at this time of the season. 3-1. Santana fouls it back. Had a hitter's cut, and he took a rip at it. 3-2. Jackson Sanders didn't even pitch for Auburn last weekend. A couple weeks back was the SEC Pitcher of the Week.
Yeah, and of course, who's the Pitcher of the Week this week? Petro, who's lights out on Sunday. Just so much fun to watch.
3-2 swing on a fly up the right side. That'll get onto the into the area above and in front of the 984 club down the right side.
That is a defensive swing right there. He's sitting off speed. The fastball is on him, but a pretty good job fouling it off.
Graves comes set. A 3-2 pitch to Santana. Here it is. Ground ball up the middle. Backhand stab. Rembert throws across his body and scooped by Fralick for the out. And that's our defensive play of the game, presented by Cook's Pest Control. Best defense for your Cook's Pest Control. South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, the official pest control provider of the Auburn Tigers. Rembert fielded that one in front of the bag, threw across his body, and a nice scoop by Freilich.
That's a
at
big,
first base.
big league play by a future big leaguer. I mean, that he makes that play look easy, and it's not.
3 up, 3 down. 9 in a row set down by Graves through 3. Auburn leads it by a score of 1-0. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
In 1977, Ford F-Series became the best-selling trucks in America. 33 million trucks later, we've kept that title every year since. And that's a formula we plan on repeating. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. The best-selling trucks in America for 49 years and counting. Based on 1977 and 2025 calendar year industry reported total sales.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regents.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
A run on 4 hits for Auburn as the Tigers come to the plate in the bottom of the third. Zeros on the board for Alabama State. And it will be Freilich, Guevara, and Rembert for Auburn in the third inning. Sacrifice fly by Guevara, plating the only run thus far in this one. Freilich a walk back in the first at first base tonight for the Tigers. Caleb Sanders back to work, 34 pitches into his outing. And the pitch. Freilich takes it inside for ball 1.
You know where I see Chase Freilich a lot?
No.
Over at our tennis facility.
Well, sure.
Home of the 2026 SEC champion women's tennis team.
1-0 to Chase. Well, folks probably know the story. His dad, a tennis organizer, and Chase was going to be a college tennis player. He was recruited by among schools Auburn here. 2-0 pitch. Swing, line drive, left center field. Left fielder dives, has to dive at the last second on that sinking liner to make the catch out and left.
That looked like a Jimmy Connors backhand rocket right there.
Nice.
From Belleville, Illinois.
That's right. And a lefty.
And a lefty.
Yeah. Nicely done. That was a great reference. All the way around, John. Here's Guevara. Eric with the sacrifice fly in the first. He bats with 1 out, nobody on here for Auburn. In the bottom of the third, Sanders. Long set in the pitch. Chopper foul by Guevara.
I'm telling you, the ball must look like a balloon to this young man right now. I mean, and he's on time with almost everything. He's just so much confidence, so much fun to watch a young man who's worked so hard through some injuries to get to a point. We've got a timeout here, huh?
I think it's the pitch. I think it's the pitch count.
Boy, you've had to say that before, haven't you?
A couple times.
But Eric's worked so hard. My wife Nell had knee surgery and was doing some rehab stuff on her knees, and I would see Eric in the facility rehabbing every day at 6 a.m. for 5 straight months.
Yeah,
to see him healthy
and came back quick from a torn ACL just to play 2 years ago. For goodness sakes. He awaits the 0-1. Here's the pitch. It drops low at 76. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Auburn third baseman, batting .366, 5 homers, and 24 runs batted in. Stretch and the pitch. Guevara swings at a pitch that went down and stayed down.
We had to talk some Rod Carew, and to his credit, the fact that, and I know it's a fellow countryman, but the fact that he knew who Rod Carew was and all about his career, I think that says a lot about his love for the game as well.
1-2 pitch. Eric swings and lines it. Watch out in the 984 club. Woo. Out of Panama City, Panama.
Not on 30A.
No. No. Further south. 1-2. Chopper foul. Pass Carl Nunemaker and deflects off the brickwork and down the left field line. 1-0 Auburn leads it. We're in the bottom of the third. One out, nobody on for the Tigers. On a gorgeous evening for baseball.
Oh, baby.
It is spectacular.
Yes, sir.
Sanders works off a stretch in the 1-2. Chopper third base side. He stays alive with that swing.
Every ball game, it amazes me. You get to game time, and it looks like nobody's here, and like 15 minutes later, it's pretty filled in.
1-2. The count remains to Guevara. Stretching the pitch. Swing and a drive into deep right center field. Long run for the center fielder, long run for the right fielder, and it's off the America 250 sign, and it's a double for Guevara. Boy, that's just a quality at bat, fouling off pitch after pitch, and then finally got one, John, that he could drive.
Don't touch that guy because it'll burn your fingers off. He is on fire. Everything he touches, just jumping off the barrel right now.
For Guevara, his 8th double of the year.
They went in, they went in, they went in. He worked his hands inside the ball, they go away, and he just hits a 2-iron off the wall in right center.
And now Rembert to the plate. A single back in the first for Chris. Pitch on the way. Swing and a chopper foul off the front of the Auburn dugout. Rembert hitting .336 on the season. 3 homers and 28 runs batted in. For Guevara, that double extends his hitting streak to 12. And he gets the lead at second. Stretching the pitch to Rembert. High, ball 1. Third baseman Santana, pretty close to the line over there. Big hole on the right side of the infield for Rembert, the 1-1. Swings and lifts it up and out of play off to Donahue off the right side.
I really, when you're evaluating an at-bat like this, you say, okay, he's early on the breaking ball, a little late on the fastball right there. It's a minor adjustment. And you don't want somebody to be early all the time. You don't want them to be late all the time. You want to show some of each.
A ball and 2 strikes to pitch to Rembert. It missed a little bit up. As I look out the left field, Jet Johnston has resumed his work. I wouldn't be surprised if he isn't the Auburn pitcher when the Tigers go back to defense in the 4th.
Yes, sir. Even though there's a lot of zeros on the board, that's probably the right thing to do.
2-2. Rembert takes it low. Blocked by Callaway. The count is full.
You notice what I did there, right?
I do. You were hedging your bet a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just when you have this many arms, you have to give them work in the middle of the week before you go down to Gainesville.
3-2 pitch to Rembert. Guevara with the lead. He's going. The pitch. Swing. Drive into right field. Right fielder back, and he can't get it. It's off the wall. Rembert stopped at third. Guevara stopped at third. He will score, and Rembert is into second base. Back-to-back doubles for the Tigers. The 9th of the year for Rembert, and Auburn leads 2-0.
So Guevara gets a huge jump there. He's got an easy stolen base, but then he's in an impossible position because he has no idea if the right fielder can get to that, even though there's a rocket in the right field. He just turns his whole body into right, sees it down, gathers himself, and scores easily. Great stroke right there. Love the swings that we got working tonight.
Back-to-back doubles by Guevara and Rembert. Here's Terrell. First pitch to Bub misses outside.
I want to see Bub get effortless here. He's a big, strong guy. He doesn't have to swing hard. The ball jumped for him.
6'3", 237 out of Alabaster, Alabama. The 1-0. Bub swings and misses.
The telltale on if somebody's overswinging is can they not finish with their head over the contact area. If their head comes off contact area, you know they're putting too much effort in the swing.
A ball and a strike to Terrell. Rembert with a lead at second to pitch. This is down and away, 2-1. 2-0 Tigers. The sacrifice fly by Guevara in the first. RBI double by Rembert here in the third. Rembert down at second with one out. A throw back to the shortstop at Devine by the starter, Caleb Sanders.
You look at these kids. Terrell looks like an NFL tight end, and on deck you got a linebacker and Bingaman standing there. I mean, these are big body kids.
Stretching the 2-1. Up takes it outside. 3 balls and a strike. Hitters count for Terrell. 3-1. Patient at bat for Terrell, and he walks. He goes to first and second with one out for Auburn in the third, and here's Bingaman.
Swinging Bingaman. This guy's swinging it. He's swinging it early. A lot of freshmen do that, but he's got some serious pop.
And the head coach for Alabama State is out. Jose Vasquez in his 10th season as the head coach for Alabama State, out to talk it over.
And Jose's done a great job with this
Sure
program.
has.
And right now, what he's saying, he just made change. But what he's saying is, hey, we can live with the hard hit balls, can't live with the walks.
And Alabama State makes a Pepper Tree pitching change for a new level of taste. Tiger fans know it's got to be Pepper Tree. For the best wine selection, the finest cuts of meat, visit Pepper Tree in Auburn or Montgomery and online at steaksletterandwine.com. Steaksandwine.com. Tree Power is on as Alabama State makes a Pepper Tree pitching change.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our dedicated party space. Baumhauer's Victory Grill Catering. Legendary flavors, zero hassle. War Eagle.
Pepper Tree pitching change for Alabama State. Trey Power, number 14, lefty, 5'10", 195, a sophomore from Panama City Beach, Florida, and Dean Bozeman High School. 3-3 on the year, 6.89 ERA, making his 11th appearance. This will be just his third in relief with the save. 32 and 2/3 innings, 28 runs, 25 earned on 38 hits, 24 strikeouts, 16 walks. He's given up 3 homers. And opponents hitting .279 against the lefty, Howard. Caleb Sanders, the starter, goes 2 1/3 innings, gives up 2 runs on 6 hits, a walk and 2 strikeouts. He is responsible for the runners at first and second with 1 out. And Bingaman will be the first one to face the lefty, Trey Powers.
Who does have some 38.
Would think so.
Yeah, he's Panama City 38.
You find your good seafood on 38.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You could probably find some in Panama, too.
We'll have to ask Eric.
What a great young man. He's so much fun to talk to.
Auburn 2, Alabama State nothing. 1 out with runners at first and second. In the Auburn third, and Bingaman to the plate. He flied to center in his first at bat back in the second inning. First pitch from Powers to Bingaman. Here it is. Off speed and in there for a strike. 73 from Powers. Rembert at second and Terrell at first. Good wheels on the base paths for Auburn. And a flip back to second base and Rembert back to the bag.
And he's so hard to be on time on an 0-0 pitch from a pitcher you've never seen before. You know, when you're in league play, it's so different because the kids are watching all the film, and a lot of them have seen the pitchers that they're facing. But in that situation, that was a good take.
0-1. 72 and outside. A ball and a strike to Bingaman. 3 homers, 19 runs batted in for Ethan, batting .294 on the season. Stretch. And the 1-1. Swings and lifts it out of play off the right side. Boy, he's made two fine catches in right. One in foul ground and one that would have been extra bases if he doesn't get to it into the right field corner.
They made it look easy.
Yes, he did. Powers ahead of Bingaman, 1-2. Pitch. Swing, drive, right center field. Long run for right field. He makes the catch. Rember tags, and he will go to third without a throw. Oropaiza out there with the catch in right. 2 outs in the inning.
So Bub Terrell, as the ball was being returned to the infield, started creeping toward the bag. This is something that Coach Nunemaker does a great job with. They call it a heads down plays, looking at the middle infielders to see if their heads are down as they're walking the ball back in to see if you can take an extra base.
Gregorio bats with runners at the corners. 2 down, swings and misses. Out in front. The ball's in a strike. Have we seen a pitch north of 80 miles an hour yet?
I think he threw a fastball 87 in the last sequence.
All right.
From the 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
0-1. Bounces up there. It's blocked by Callaway. Ball and a strike to the Auburn DH. Terrell at first and Rembert at third. Do you run Bub here? 2 down?
I think you got to see a move, and I think you want to run after a pick. So you see if you get a pick in here somewhere.
1-1. Ground ball to the shortstop. Fields. His play will be to first in time for the out. And the inning comes to a close. Run on 2 hits, couple doubles for the Tigers, no errors, and 2 men left. We're through 3. Tigers lead the Hornets by a score of 2-0. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the producers of The Crown. You are invited to attend an interview with Visiting Assistant Professor for Her Royal Highness the Duchess of York.
Comes a new original drama inspired by a true story.
As time passes, speculation is growing that Jane Addams killed the man she loved.
Starring Lee Dormer and Mia McKenna Bruce.
I don't want an ordinary life. Why did you come to this?
The Lady, streaming March 18th, only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
Go to the top of the 4th, and Auburn makes a Warriga Plus pitching change to number 9, Jet Johnston. Junior righty, 6 foot, 200 pounds, out of Knoxville, Tennessee, transferred to Auburn from Texas A&M. Jet 0-1 of the year, a 5.59 earned run average. This will be his 13th relief appearance. 19 in the 3rd innings, 13 runs, 12 earned. Run 22 hits. Has struck out 23, walked only 4, 2 homers, and opponents hitting 268 against Jet Johnston. Well, Griffin Graves in his first start of the season was perfect. 3 innings, no runs, no hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. He threw 35 pitches, 24 strikes in his first start of the season.
Very efficient. So I think Jet Johnston's going to catch me at some point in time because I've lived in 7 SEC cities, right? So he's on number 3, and he's only 21 years old. So he could catch me. You got a little Knoxville, you got a little College Station, and now you got Auburn.
Well, that's a good point.
He could catch me.
Do you want him to?
No.
Okay. Here's Devin Chandler. Leadoff man with a liner to center back in the first. And the pitch. In there for a strike from Johnston.
Because if he does, he might have to live in like someplace like in Northwest Alabama that I wouldn't want anybody to have to live there.
Sure.
So,
I'm glad you clarified that statement.
Absolutely.
Oh, away. Ball and I thought you were one of those guys that never wanted to see your records broken. That's where I thought we were going with that.
No, that's an interesting record, isn't it? It's probably not even a record.
Probably isn't.
Yeah.
Ball and a strike to Chandler. Batting 298. He has 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. Swing on a miss and a curve.
There's got to be a football coach who's lived in more than 7 SEC.
And an assistant.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, there's a pretty good bet that that's the case.
1-2 pitch to Chandler from Jet Johnson. Here it is. Tried to drop it on the inside corner. Missed inside. 2-2 the count. Chandler, Devine, and Aropaza. Two-two pitch. Here it is. Got him swinging with a slider away. Third strikeout tonight for Auburn. The first for Johnston. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one.
I love that pitch because it's a strike, and it's a strike, and it's a strike, and then it becomes a ball. And those are the ones that you're going to get that chase right there like you just did. That spin rate on that pitch is 25-33. That's a really, really tight breaking ball.
How precise you are.
I'm just guessing. Just guessing.
Here's Braden Devine. Swing and a drive into center. Carter just back about a step and a half to make the catch. 2-0.
You know, this is where I nerd out on the game, but even on that ball's pretty well hit. Just great mechanics in the outfield. Just sit down in the spot. Don't run in. Don't turn and run back. Just sit down in your spot. It's flexing your knees. Sit down and then make a late decision. And he's one of the best at that. Carter is a very, very good defensive outfielder.
Here's Miguel Oropeza, the right fielder. Grounded out to Rembert to end the first. Jet Johnston comes set in the pitch. This is away. Oropeza, the leading hitter for Alabama State, batting .368. 4 homers, 31 runs batted in. Right-handed hitter against the righty Johnston. Pitch down the middle at 86 for a strike. 1-1. We're in the top of the fourth. And Auburn leads Alabama State 2-0. Tigers about hit the Hornets 6-0. Stretch by Johnston. Jack home with a 1-1. Oropeza fouls it back. The ball and 2 strikes.
Nice, pretty doggone nice crowd for a Tuesday night, Andy.
Ballpark is filled in nicely, hasn't it? 1-2. Off the end of the bat, right side. Fralick gives chase, but he'll run out of room. On top of the grandstand down the right side.
Fralick's probably loving life.
Oh.
He's not squatting down there behind the plate. No equipment on. He's just running around. He's free.
A ball and 2 strikes to Oropeza. Johnston is shaking off a sign. Now comes set. 2 outs, nobody on the pitch. Chopper third base side on a hop to Guevara. 2 first, 3 up, 3 down for a 4th straight inning for Alabama State. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Auburn 2, Alabama State nothing. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Hall of Fame coach Kim Evans, who called you from Auburn? What was the first contact that you had from your alma mater?
So the first contact that I ever had was a guy named Pat Dye. So I got to talk to Coach Dye and spend some time with Coach Dye a few years earlier, and talk to me about Auburn and coaching here. Just kind of one of those great drive around Auburn, a couple hours that I'll never forget. And his bird dog sat in my lap the whole time.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
McCrane, Steele, and Carter for Auburn in the fourth against Trey Powers. Tigers lead 2-0 in the top of the fourth. Hey, whether you're planting a tree or tackling a backyard project, don't risk a penalty. Contact Alabama 811 before you dig to get your underground utilities marked for free. Visit al811.com or call 811. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Bottom half of the fourth. Brandon McCrane will lead it off. He singled to left his first time at the plate. Raised his average to .361 in his redshirt freshman year. Stretching the pitch. In there for a strike, off-speed delivery.
I'm not thinking that was a strike, and I'm not being argumentative. I feel pretty confident about that.
I'm not arguing with you.
Some people might say I'm argumentative, but not on.
Swing, ground ball, base hit to left. McCrane 2 for 2.
Can I tell you my favorite Brandon McCrane story? I don't know if you remember. This is a month ago. We're still in basketball. There's a bang-bang play at first base, dives in, hurts his shoulder.
Remember?
Trainer runs out. He says, "Oh, no. You're going to stay in the dugout. I'm good to go." He bangs his shoulder back into place, and it's play ball. That's a tough young man standing on first base right there.
And he's here tonight. And here's Lucas Steele. A strikeout picked him in the second. Stretching the pitch. Drops low for ball one. Seventh hit of the night for Auburn. The Tigers have stranded 5, scored twice. 2-0 Auburn leads it. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Leadoff man on for the Tigers. Stretch in the 1-0. Drops outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Steele.
Now, of course, Andy, I'm not saying that players don't need trainers on the field at times, because sometimes that's important. But I do have to say that was impressive.
2-0. Steele takes it high. Quickly 3-0 to the Auburn catcher. On the top of the order, the disruptor waits on deck. I don't know if he knows that he has that nickname, but he does. At least
I call him that all the time.
At least on the radio he does.
Nobody ever pays attention to me.
3-0. Ball 4. First and second, nobody out. As we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. We'll have Jason Campbell and Ronnie Brown and Brett Edens and Jeff Shear all with us on Saturday for the 8-day coverage starting at 2 on the Auburn Sports Network. First and second here, Auburn leads it 2-0, nobody out. Carter shows bunt, and Powers misses for a 5th straight pitch outside.
This might be one of those moments where they told Bristol, hey, if they crash on you, you can pull it back and slash out of this bunt position. So we'll see how he plays it here.
Big hole on the left side of the infield. Shortstop playing behind the runner at second. The pitch. Carter takes a strike. Santana playing even with the bag and near the line at third. Again, they shade with the shortstop up the middle. So a big hole on the left side of the infield for Bristol Carter as Powers comes set. And a throw back to second base.
Oh, boy.
One hops it to the shortstop.
That didn't look comfortable, did it?
No. For the pitcher or the shortstop. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Carter showed some patience that time.
Boy,
missed down and in, 2-1.
That's a close pitch. That's right on the borderline.
2 balls and a strike to Bristol. Brandon McCrane at second and Lucas Steele at first. Nobody out for Auburn in the fourth. Tigers on top 2-0. Stretch and the pitch. The runners go. Throw is, well, there is no throw to third base. Steele stayed at first. McCrane steals his 11th base of the season, and he's yet to be thrown out.
So what we have there is either a straight steal that was put on, and if that's the case, then Steele missed the sign, or it was just a green light and he's supposed to read the guy in front. He doesn't have to go if it's a green light.
First and third. Nobody out. 3-1 pitch bunted. Out in front of the plate. Catcher fields and throws to first. In time for the out. They don't cover home, and McCrane scores. The pitcher didn't come and cover home. The catcher got out there and threw out Carter at first, but the pitcher didn't cover home, and McCrane scores, and Auburn leads 3-0.
Well, the reason he didn't cover the play is he just stopped running because the play was in front of him. If he'd have kept running, he'd have run right into a throw, but that's where you got to communicate. And you're right. He has to bust his tail and get to the plate, or that's going to happen.
Well, that stolen base is now big in the inning, isn't it?
Big.
Steele down to second, 1 out in the inning. An RBI for Carter, his 22nd of the season. And here is Fralick. Pitch, fastball for a strike. Maybe not a fastball. It was 75. Oh, 1 pitch. Outside. Good block by Callaway, the catcher. Keeps Steele at second base.
So a fan might be saying, why are they bunting and situational running here? Why don't they just try and hit balls out of the ballpark? You know, you're playing a non-conference opponent. Well, because we got to train to go down to Gainesville and try and win down there. What you do in the middle of the week translates to the weekend. This is where your preparation happens.
1-1 the count. Fralick takes it outside. 2 balls and a strike to the Auburn first baseman tonight. They open up the left side of the infield. Fralick certainly has the ability to go the opposite way. 2-1. Inside and high, 3-1. There is activity in the bullpen for the Hornets.
Yeah, they got to get a righty for the hottest guy in America on deck.
3-1 to Fralick. Steele gets his lead. The pitch. Oh, 3-2. Fralick walked in the first. He lined to left in the third. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chase. Stretch and the pitch. Little looper to the shortstop, to the second baseman. Tried to pull it through, and the second baseman, Espaillat, made the catch.
It's a great job of hitting right there. Just sat on a breaking ball, didn't get big, threw his hands at it, hits a line drive in the middle of the field. That's all you're asking for right there. That is professional hitting right there.
Coach Vasquez out. And again, we'll see a pitching change, a pepper tree pitching change. For a new level of taste, Tiger fans know it's got to be Pepper Tree. For the best wine selection, the finest cuts of meat, visit Pepper Tree in Auburn or Montgomery and online steaksandwine.com. A Pepper Tree pitching change for Alabama State.
Yellowwood knows that 5-Star Backyard is a place to make lasting memories, like cookouts, cornhole with friends, ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad, the one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps for memories. I love naps. 5-Star Backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Runner at second with 2 outs for Auburn in the bottom of the 4th. The run home, Tigers lead 3-0. Alabama State makes a Pepper Tree pitching change for number 20, Peterson. Right-hander, 6'2", 180, sophomore from Summerville, South Carolina, Pinewood Prep. Some of the best numbers on this ball club. He's 3-0 with 2.67 ERA. This will be his team-leading 17th appearance, all in relief with a couple saves. 33 2/3 innings, 10 runs, all earned on 30 hits, 22 strikeouts, 10 walks, a homer, and opponents are hitting .238 against Peterson. Powers, an inning and a third, a run on a hit, a walk. He threw 24 pitches, 12 for strikes. And looks like a side armor in Peterson coming in to try and get Guevara righty on righty here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, that visit, Andy, was something like this. The visit, when he changed pitchers, he says, hey, look, this guy's like 10 for his last 8. We got an open base. And if you walk this guy, it's okay because you got force opportunities. But you're not going to miss the center part of the plate because he can really hurt you. And, yeah, I said 10 for 8 because that's how hot he is.
Well, okay. I'm not sure we're going to let that one go, John. Even though you're the boss.
That's an old expression, man. When you're 10 through your last 8, that's pretty good.
Okay. Guevara sacrificed fly and an RBI, double and scored in the Auburn third. He faces James Peterson with 2 outs, a runner at second. Pitch. Inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count.
I would just be shocked if he threw anything in the center part of the strike zone here.
Guevara's average up to 371. Here's the pitch.
He threw one right down the middle.
1-1. It was up a little bit. 3-0 Auburn leads it. 2 outs, a runner at second base. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Stretching the pitch. Got the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes.
That was not a strike.
Good job to frame it by Callaway, the catcher. 1-2 to Guevara. Peterson comes set. Here's the pitch. And Guevara reaches down and slices it out of play. Guevara hitting 371 now with that double back in the third. He's behind here, 1-2, the pitch. Swing and a drive deep into center field. Malpass is back. He looks up. It's gone. Off the video board in center.
Andy, that ball's like, I'm not kidding. I'm looking at a tablet here. That ball's like, honestly, it's like 13 inches above the ground. And why on earth are you going to challenge him in the strike zone right there with the base open?
He golfed it off the video board, his 6th home run of the year. RBIs 24 and 25 for Guevara, who was down a ball and 2 strikes. It didn't look like a bad pitch either, John.
It was down, but that ball can't cross the white part of the plate with a guy who's that hot at the plate. Rembert swinging it well too, but you just you put him on first, take your chances with the next guy.
And here is Rembert. First pitch, outside, ball 1. A 3-run fourth for the Tigers. And now Auburn leads at 5-0. Stretch in the pitch. Rembert down the right field line. Fair. That will get into the corner. Rembert around first base. He digs for second. Rembert around second base. He's going to dig for third. He's going to miss with a triple. Oh, that was fun to watch.
It sure was. We got a low arm slot right-hander against Rembert, a right-handed hitter. So Rembert's thinking middle away, and he just absolutely pummeled that ball to the right side. This is the results that Butch Thompson wanted on a Tuesday night. He wanted this type of precision to get ready for the Florida Gators on Thursday.
A homer and a triple in back-to-back at-bats. And here is Bub Terrell with a runner at third. 2 outs, 3 runs home in the inning for Auburn. Stretch and pitch. Bub takes it outside for ball 1. Guevara with a homer off the video board just above the Alpha Insurance sign out in left center. And then Rembert goes into the right field corner with a triple. 1-0. Bub chops it foul at the plate, a ball and a strike.
Again, just fighting himself a little bit now with big swings. Just free and easy, Bub, here.
First triple of the year for Rembert. Auburn's 4th of the season. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1.
When you watch the replay of that home run, Guevara's head is so close to barrel contact right there, which means his lower half got him down there. And that's just Albert Pujols type stuff.
Pretty big comparison there. 2-1. Terrell to deep center field. Malpass is back. He looks at that one over the batting eye. 2-run homer, Bub Terrell.
That's what this coaching staff is looking for out of Bob. Just head right over barrel contact right there, no effort, and just lets his strength work for him.
A pair of 2-run homers with 2 outs here in the 4th. And the Tigers now lead 7-0, flexing their muscles a little bit. Well, that was a bomb. That was over the batting eye in center.
Yeah, the center fielder really it's kind of like, do I really have to run back here and pretend like I have a play? He didn't.
Guevara's home run was 409 feet. That was 416 feet off the bat above Terrell. There is a strike for Ethan Bingaman. Peterson comes set. Pitch. Chopper foul by Bingaman.
Yeah, the kryptonite for these low arm slot guys like Peterson is that left-handed hitter because you just see it so well from that arm slot. Boy, our left-handers they just haven't missed so far against Peterson, nor have our right-handers for that matter.
The balls and 2 strikes, the count to Bingaman. 5 runs home for Auburn here in the 4th, and the pitch. It misses outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Bingaman 0 for 2. He's flied to center, he's flied to right. Two outs, nobody on for Auburn. 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bingaman.
Gregorio right now on deck is saying, please, 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 let me get to the plate here and see this arm slot.
Couple pitchers in the pen right now for Alabama State. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Bingaman. Fouled it back. That one deflect down off of the grandstand and down into the stands. Hopefully everybody's all right over there to our right.
Yeah, looks like we're okay.
Good.
Looks like we're okay.
2-2. Bingaman to right over the 984 club and on to Donahue.
Andy, when you look at this kid, Ethan Bingaman, as a freshman, I mean, you just say, man, if this guy's with us for a couple more years, what does that body look like, and what does that production look like when he gets used to playing in the Southeastern Conference?
2-2 pitch. Here it is. Chopper up the middle and through for a base hit for Bingaman.
I got to believe if you look at the swings that the left-handers have taken, you do something different right here for Alabama State.
I've got a couple in the pen right now. And the 9th man to bat in the inning is Logan Gregorio. Tigers have scored 5 times, 4 with 2 outs. Bingaman with a lead at first and a throw over, and he is back. Tigers have batted around here in the 4th. Lead at 7-0. Final regular season home midweek game. Another throw over. Bingaman not far off the bag, but dives back safely.
So, Andy, are we familiar with Yorkville, Illinois?
Northern part of the state.
Gotcha.
Gregorio went to Northern Illinois, and Coach Vasquez is out for Alabama State.
Yes, so those 2 picks were intentional because we're trying to buy themselves some time to get the bullpen guys ready. I just didn't think he's going to let him face another left-handed hitter.
And he won't. And Alabama State will go to the pen for a left-hander in this Pepper Tree pitching change.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our dedicated party space. Baumhauer's Victory Grill Catering. Legendary flavors, zero hassle. War Eagle.
Alabama State goes to a biggin, number 32, Joe Dolanchek. 6'7", 225, a junior from Clayton at North Carolina, transferred in from Southeastern Community College. Listed as a left-handed pitcher and a first baseman. When they took infield, he was out there at first base tonight. Dolanchek 0-1 on the year, a 5.06 ERA, making his 10th appearance, his 8th in relief. 21 in the 3rd innings, 14 runs, 12 earned on 22 hits. 14 strikeouts, but 14 walks, no homers. And opponents are hitting .286 against Dolanchek. Now, Peters was not the answer. He does not record an out. Gives up 3 runs on 4 hits, 2 of them homers. And the lefty, Dolanchek, tries to get the third out of the inning with a runner at first and 2 outs here. Tigers have scored 4 times, 4 runs with 2 outs in the inning. And Auburn leads it by a score of 7-0 in the bottom of the 4th. And Logan Gregorio will come to the plate. He'll face the left hand, and a big left-hander at that. I think Yorkville, I asked Logan this one day before the season started. I think it's west of the Chicago area, but in between Chicago and DeKalb, which is where northern Illinois is, that's where he transferred from.
Probably not windy.
No, not at all. Not that part of the state of Illinois. So Gregorio comes to the plate. He was at the plate when Peterson was out there, but he threw twice to first and then was taken out. So this will be when Dolanchek throws it, the first pitch to Gregorio in this at bat. Stretch and the pitch. Gregorio takes an off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, you don't want to take your foot off the gas pedals here. You're looking for quality swings.
Runner at first, that's Bingaman. 2 down in the inning. 5 runs home in the inning for Auburn. The pitch. Little up to Gregorio. A ball and a strike. Open stands for Gregorio from the left side. Sets up deep in the box. Stretch and the pitch. Out and away. 2 balls and a strike. Auburn has shown patience at the plate through this ball game so far. 2-1. All 3 high.
It's a really good count to run in. A little bit more difficult versus a left-hander, but you don't have to get the great jump on a 3-1. We'll see if they turn him loose right here.
Stretch and delivery. Popped up into left. Pretty good carry. Chandler just shy of the warning track in a couple steps. Makes the catch, and the inning is over, but damage done by Auburn. 5 runs, 4 with 2 outs in the 4th. We're through 4 ballpark. Auburn 7, Alabama State nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
You've created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in cool cash rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the expert.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories, like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all. Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice I get. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Jet Johnson's second inning of work will begin in the top of the 5th. He will get Nigel Jenkins, Trey Calloway, and Jackson Williams, along with John Cohen. I'm glad to be with you on the Tuesday night of Auburn baseball. The final midweek the final midweek home game for Auburn this season, hopefully until the regionals.
Yes, sir.
Start. Johnson threw 11 pitches in the first. Really encouraging start for Griffin Graves. 3 perfect innings tonight for Griffin. A couple strikeouts, no walks, no hits, no runs. 35 strikeouts, 35 pitches, 24 strikes. That goes with the mantra that Butch Thompson talks about, the percentage of strikes that you throw in an outing.
That's a lot of 3 or less pitch at-bats, which is exactly what Butch is looking for.
Nigel Jenkins will lead off the 5th. And in the first inning for Jet Johnston, he set down Alabama State in order. He gets the number 4 hitter here in the 5th. The pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. Jenkins, a strikeout victim of Graves, back in the second. Jet comes set in the pitch. Strike 2 on the slider.
That's a hammer right there. That's a really good pitch.
Oh, and 2 the count. Stretch by Jet the pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball.
That was a clinic right there. Absolute clinic. Elevated fastball, break the ball down, fastball up. That's a really, really good sequence for Jet Johnson.
Reminds me of a story when Tom Slater was an assistant coach at Auburn back in the day. In Auburn, I can't remember the name of the starter for Mississippi State. First the pitch to Trey Calloway from Johnston. Here it is. Misses low. And I should remember the name because he was one of the notable starters. And we were just talking about his scouting report. Rod and I were talking with Slater, and Tommy said, if he's got his slider working tonight, you could just sack the bats. 1-0. Swing and a miss. A ball and a strike. I wish I could remember the name of that starter. I just thought it was a pretty classic way to talk about that young man. Sack the bats if his slider is working. Auburn will get to see Tommy this weekend.
That's
Now
right.
an assistant
That's
in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
1-1. Going away, 2-1.
Hey, up in Birmingham, UAB's leading Alabama 5-4 in the fifth.
That reminds me, I need to do a better job of giving you the Yellowwood scoreboard tonight, SEC scoreboard tonight. Let me see if I can work that out. Thank you for the reminder.
Absolutely.
Everybody playing tonight in the SEC. There's a chopper to the third baseman fielding. Charging Gavar to first in time for the out. Nicely played by Eric. All right, here's your scoreboard. 9-1 Tennessee over Asheville in the bottom of the 8th. South Carolina 7, Davidson 6. Bottom of the 5th in Columbia. Florida trails Bethune-Cookman 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th in Gainesville. Vanderbilt leads at Lipscomb 6-0. That game is being played at Ken Dugan Field. Auburn has played in that ballpark at Lipscomb. That game is in the top of the 5th. 2 outs, and here is Jackson Williams. Pitch. Off the outside corner. Arkansas leads Pine Bluff 6-1. Bottom of the 4th in North Little Rock. They must be playing the minor league park there. UAB 5, Alabama 4. Bottom half of, or top of the 5th in Birmingham at Regents Field. 1-0. This is low. 2-0. A&M leads Houston 4-2. Bottom of the 4th in College Station. Ole Miss 6, Southern Miss nothing. It's a good game. Game's being played at Trustmark Park in Pearl, Mississippi. 2-0 to Williams. Swing and a miss out in front. Mississippi State leads Samford at Samford 8-1, top of the 5th. Corpus Christi leads Texas 6-1, top of the 3rd in Austin. Stretching the 2-1 to Williams. Swing on a foul off the right side. LSU and Northwestern State tied at 1, top of the 4th in Baton Rouge.
The Demons from Natchitoches.
3-0 Oklahoma State leads at Oklahoma. Bottom of the 2nd. They're playing actually that game in Tulsa. And Georgia lost to East Tennessee State, won 12-10 today. At Foley Field in Athens. 2-2. Drop slow, count goes full. And that's your SEC scoreboard. Here, Auburn leads 7-0 in the top of the 5th.
It's a pretty important pitch right here.
3-2 outs, nobody on. Stretch in the pitch. Strike.
Wow.
Hammer for strike 3. Inning over. 3 up, 3 down. Through 5. It's nothing but zeros on the scoreboard right now for Alabama State. Tigers lead it 7-0. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 110% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done until you call the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, looky, looky. Here comes Cookie. Pest control.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Win Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loose spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payout and the most epic rewards. At Win Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Win Creek Casino. Find your winning moment. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Cook's Pest Control. The best defense for your home is Cook's Pest Control, the South's most trusted name in pest control since 1928, and the official pest control partner of the Auburn Tigers.
Tigers lead at 7-0 coming to the plate in the bottom of the fifth inning presented by Southern Union. But seamlessly to Auburn to complete a bachelor's degree in selected program by taking courses at Southern Union and Auburn concurrently at Southern Union's tuition rates. Let Southern Union put you on a path to the peaks. Auburn scored 5 times in the fourth, scored 4 two-out runs in the fourth inning, and will lead it off with Brandon McCrane, who is 2 for 2 on the night. Brandon has raised his average to 367. The pitch to him from Joe Dolenchek misses low. He singled to the left twice tonight, stole a base in the fourth, and scored for Auburn. 1-0 pitch. Brandon, had a pitch up a little bit in the strike zone, and he fouled it back. All in strike. One ball and 1 strike to Brandon McCrane. Stretch and the pitch. It misses low, 2 balls and a strike. Folks enjoying themselves out on the parking deck. Not quite as many tonight. Out in the Yeti yard on top of the War Eagle wall, the back 40, the K corner. Hello. 984 Club, the Broadway Club to our left. And there's the strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to McCrane. And in the grandstand. Down each line. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Auburn shortstop. Stretch in the pitch. Base hit through the right side. It's a 3-hit night for Brandon McCrane.
Just love his game. What a bright future Brandon McCrane's gonna have. He is a plus defender, and he is starting to figure his stroke out. And he I just love the way he's contributing to this lineup.
I sense some more confidence for Brandon at the plate this past weekend.
No doubt.
Against Kentucky.
No doubt. You know what we haven't talked about is in all of our premium areas today, I believe there's tater tots.
What?
Oh, yeah.
There's Lucas Steele. First pitch. I believe the quote before the game was, tater tots are my kryptonite.
That's my kryptonite.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. It's just not common, right? I mean, it's just not normal.
Okay. You can believe that if you want. The 0-1. There's a strike. 0-2 the count to Steele.
How many places do you go to where they serve tater tots other than Sonic?
Well, that's one of them, but
I mean, there aren't many places.
I think they're a little more prevalent than you believe.
Well, yeah, in the cafeteria in school, but
you didn't qualify. 0-2 pitch to Steele from Dolenchek. Here it is. There's a swing on the line drive into left field, and that is down for a base hit. Chandler tried to deke the third base umpire, but it bounced to him. And Auburn has runners at first and second with nobody out here in the fifth.
So that's a hustle play for an umpire, but we don't give these guys enough credit. But if you're an umpire, you got to race out there because the runner at first is looking at the play and then immediately finds the umpire. And even if he gets it wrong, you got to do whatever the umpire says. So that's good early down call by the third base umpire.
Right. First and second, nobody out. Here's Bristol Carter. Dolenchek, a high set, and the pitch. Bristol showed bunt, pulled the bat back. Carter singled in the first, second, stole third, and scored. A fielder's choice in the second. And a sacrifice bunt and an RBI in the fourth.
So what you're saying is there's been some disruption.
He is the disruptor. 1-0. Bunts it, third base side. They're going to have a tough time getting him. Throw to first, and they do by about a half step. That's a nice play by Dolanchek with the second baseman covering. Bang, bang play at first, but Dolanchek threw him out. 1-4. But the runners move up to second and third for Auburn with one out.
And those who are watching or listening, you might say, why are they bunting up 7? I'll tell you why. We got to keep working on our skill set. That's one of his skill set. But also, you get to the 10-run mark, and that's 2 less innings that you got to pitch the baseball.
Here's Freilich. Pitch. Inside for ball 1.
And when you got a Tuesday and you're working into a Thursday this week a day early, those extra 2 innings, not covering those extra 2 innings could be big.
Well, you're coming off a game on Sunday where you didn't have to pitch or play the last 2 innings. That one gets by Freilich. Actually, it hit him, and then it got the home plate umpire, Brandon Folks.
Yeah, that's
the ball hit Freilich and then hit the home plate umpire. Originally, I didn't see that the ball hit Freilich. I thought it just hit the umpire.
Yeah, got him right in the knee, the side of the knee. Man, that hurts.
So the bases are loaded now, and Eric Guevara to the plate. What has Eric done tonight for Auburn? Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first, doubled in the third, and hit a 2-run bomb in the fourth.
A couple of nice defensive plays, Andy.
Yes, he has. He has been the total package tonight for the Tigers, and he bats with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 5th, and Auburn leading 7-0. The pitch. Inside corner for strike 1.
That was a strike on the inner half. I tell you what, though, I don't know how you pitch to him at this point from the left side.
Dolanchek with the high set and the 0-1. Drops down and in. Ball into strike 2, Guevara.
They are desperately trying to get in.
He is hitting .376 right now for Auburn. Freilich at first, McGrain at third, Steele at second. Now the 1-1. Misses low, 2-1. There is activity in the pen for Alabama State. There is activity in the Auburn pen as well.
I know this sounds crazy, but if they got Eric to 2 strikes here, if I were them, I would bring in a righty right in the middle of the count.
2-1. Jammed, and he pops it into shallow center. Second baseman is out. He makes the catch, and all the runners stay put. So now there are 2 outs.
Andy, that's one of those really interesting, again, umpire plays, because at what point does it become an infield fly?
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
And
I guess that was far enough into center.
Yeah.
That was, 25, 30 feet into center field?
But the second baseman's making the play.
Agreed.
And you got to make that call fairly early.
But I didn't see a call there.
He did not make a call.
Understand, Abe Chancellor is the one in the Auburn pen right now. 2 outs, and Rembert at the plate. First pitch misses high. 2 outs, and the base is loaded for Auburn. Rembert, it's 3 for 3. A single, double, and a triple. 1-0 pitch. High, 2 balls and no strikes. I'm getting texts of places that pitch ball 3 high that you can order tater tots at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty prevalent. It's a lot more prevalent than you believe.
Okay.
I'm not sure if your wife said that they're not around. I don't know.
Damn it, Nell.
3-0 to Rembert.
There are tater tots out there.
Pitch. All 4. Rembert walks. A bases loaded walk, and the Tigers go up 8-0. Second time McCrane has scored tonight. Rembert gets an RBI, another RBI. That's his second of the night.
Well, don't keep me in suspenders. Where are the tots at? other than at premium here in the ballpark tonight?
Well, you can get them at Nippers.
Oh, okay.
I need to be careful about our partners.
I understand that. I understand.
Yes. There's Bub Terrell with the bases loaded. And now Auburn leads 8-0. 2 outs in the fifth. Pitch. High ball one. And that will be all for Dolanchek, I believe. Our good friends at Pepper Tree are getting their money's worth these last 2 ball games because there have been a ton of visiting pitching changes.
Do they serve tots?
Don't know. We'll check on that.
Okay, I gotta know because I'm there.
They have outstanding cuts of meat, I can tell you that. We have not seen the call to the pen yet by Alabama State, and I think he's going to stick with Dolanchek. So hold the phones for Pepper Tree. 1-0 the count to Bub Terrell. Bases loaded, a run home for Auburn. Bottom of the fifth, Tigers lead it by a score of 8-0.
You know, if you're Bob, you almost want to show him that video of the home run that he hit. It's just so effortless, very handsy. Lower half really stacks well.
1-0 to Bub. Inside, let me answer a question from our In the Booth chat. Brad is fine. He'll be back with you Thursday evening in Gainesville, Florida. That's all I'm going to say. 2-0 to Terrell. There's a strike, 2-1.
Oh, boy.
6-4, 3 double play in the first. Walked in the third. 2-run homer over the batting eye and center in the fourth. His 8th home run of the year. Now 2-1 to Terrell with the bases loaded. Ball 3 high. Bases loaded, 2 down. 3-1 the count to Terrell, the pitch. Bub lifts it foul, left side. That's going to get out of play. To the concourse level and onto and into the Yeti yard on a couple hops. Full count, and the runners will be off with the pitch.
Andy, I would love to know the percentage or the sheer amount of foul balls hit in a 56-game season now versus 20, 25, 30 years ago. It has to be significantly more. And I have a theory about this. I have a theory about everything. I think it's because of the velocity. I think that the more velocity, the more foul balls.
Here's the 3-2. Bub got jammed and fouled this one up and off the left side and about 5 rows deep behind the screen.
You know, when I played college baseball in the Southeastern Conference, I'm telling you the average fastball in this league was 87. Now it's probably about almost 93 miles an hour. I mean, that's just going to call more foul balls. But it always, as I'm listening to you guys a lot of time or watching on television or hear the ball, I'm just astounded by the amount of foul balls that are hit.
Terrell's hit 2 out of play. He awaits another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And he walks. Misses up and in. An RBI walk for Bub Terrell. Steele comes home. Second time that Lucas has scored tonight. RBI for Terrell, his 3rd of the night. That gives him 25 on the season. Fralick to 3rd. Rembert to 2nd, Terrell to 1st, and that will be all. And it will be another Pepper Tree pitching change for Alabama State.
Yellowwood knows that 5-star backyard is a place to make lasting, like cookouts, cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad, the one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps or memories. I love naps. 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences. Yellowwood brand pressure treated fine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Pepper Tree pitching change for Alabama State is Jacob Leffler, number 15. Sophomore right-hander, 6'4", 210 from Florida Merritt Island High School. 1-0 this year, an ERA of 7.04. His 12th appearance of the season with a save. 15 in the 3rd inning, 16 runs, 12 earned on 26 hits. 13 strikeouts, 6 walks, no homers, and opponents are hitting .356 against the big right-hander, Jacob Leffler. Auburn has scored twice in the inning on back-to-back 2-out, bases loaded walks, an RBI for Rembert and RBI for Terrell. And Bingaman will be the 8th man to bat for Auburn here in the 5th. Tigers now lead by a score of 9-0. Yes, the run rule is in effect if it comes to that tonight. Hey, listen to all things SEC, including live games and SEC This Morning. Tune to SiriusXM SEC Radio, channel 374, and streaming on the SiriusXM app. A run for Auburn in the first, another in the third, 5 in the fourth, including 2-run homers by both Guevara and Terrell. Auburn has scored twice here in the 5th. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs.
So Jacob Leffler, the new right-handed pitcher, is from Cocoa Beach, Florida, which I think is where I Dream a Genie was supposed to be to take place. Do you remember that one?
I remember the show. I don't remember that piece of trivia.
I think it was supposed. The setting for that show was supposed to be Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Jacob, would you please look that up? Pitch to Bingaman. Strike call on the inside corner.
Fact checker.
That's right. Bingaman is 1 for 3 on the night. He bats with the bases loaded. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Stretch and the 0-1. Swing. Mighty cut, and he comes up empty. He was looking for his second grand slam in as many games. Actually, it was Gregorio that hit the grand slam Sunday. Oh-2. Fly ball into shallow right. Long run for Olapreza. He is there to make the catch, and the inning comes to a close. 2 runs for the Tigers on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left. We're through 5. Auburn 9, Alabama State nothing. And this is the Auburn Sports Network.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burchell.
Auburn place kicker Alex McPherson.
I think the only time I really thought, like, am I still going to be able to play football was when we were talking about the surgery. And then my surgeon came in and was like, Ralph Benershka. And I was like, no. And then so we looked him up, and he kicked in NFL with 2 bags. And now I talk to Ralph a lot. And so it's just cool. So we looked him up, and my surgeon assured me, he was like, yeah, you can still play football with a bag. Like, you can do anything with a bag. You could skydive, you could scuba dive, you could do all sorts of things. You don't have to be done playing football. And so that was definitely exciting for me because I didn't want to be done with football.
New episodes of the Talking Tigers podcast are released Mondays, wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast exclusively from the Auburn Sports Network.
Alabama power call to the bullpen for the Tigers to left-hander Abe Chancellor, redshirt senior, 6'3", 174 from Dothan, Alabama, transferred from Orleans B. Wallace Community College. Chancellor, no record, an ERA of 3.86, making his 4th relief appearance. The lefty, 2 1/3 innings, a run on 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, a walk, no homers, and a hitting .333 against Abe Chancellor. Jet Johnston, 2 perfect innings for the Tigers with 3 strikeouts. He followed 3 perfect innings from Griffin Graves. And Abe Chancellor is on in the top of the 6th to face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Alabama State. Well, the tater tots conversation continues.
With some Chris Staples in the background. You got to love that.
I do.
Perfect.
We understand that Pepper Tree does indeed have tater tots.
Excellent. I'm there.
So there you are. Alex Spayat to the plate. First pitch, fastball high from Chancellor. Five strikeouts tonight for Auburn pitching. Stretch by Abe in the pitch. High and away, 2-0. Nine runs, 13 hits, no errors for Auburn. Zeros on the scoreboard for Alabama State as the Hornets bat in the top of the sixth. Chancellor the stretch and the 2-0. Right down the middle for a strike. Freilich plays off the line at first. Guevara near the line at third. 2-1. Ooh, just missed the outside corner. 3 balls and a strike. And this is just the third 3-ball count. Excuse me. 5th 3-ball count of the night for Auburn pitch. It's a 3-1 count to Spyat. Pitch. Strike called on the inside corner.
So great to see Alex out there. Great arm. Done so much in this program in a short time.
Chancellor comes set. Here's the 3-2. Right down the middle, strike 3 call. Abe Chancellor comes back from a 3-1 deficit and gets the strikeout.
Andy, you're 100% right. I mean, the tots are flying in right now in text messages. There are a lot more tots out there than I thought.
Yes, there are.
Just need to find them.
Well,
Pepper Tree, man, I'm all over that.
I don't think you're going to have any trouble finding them now. Here's Aiden Malpass, the center fielder. Grounded out to second. First pitch from Abe Chancellor is in there for a strike.
The thing is, Andy, it's really a texture issue because the tater tot is crispy on the outside, but it's soft and juicy on the inside. So you got to love the combining of the textures.
0-1. Swing and a miss. You think you have to explain that to me?
You're a ketchup guy?
Yeah.
You're a ketchup guy.
Sure.
It's one of the 5 food groups.
0-2 to Malpass. Abe Chancellor comes set. And the 0-2. Off the outside edge, ball and 2 strikes.
Right behind cotton candy and marshmallows. It's, part of the 5 food groups.
You lost me there on both counts. You're going to find I'm rather unusual when it comes to this. My wife's down the right field line just nodding her head right now. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Oh, strike 3 call. Nicely thrown by Chancellor. Back-to-back strikeouts looking.
Yeah, he's not the president, but he is the chancellor, and he's pitching well tonight.
Back-to-back backward Ks. And here's Fabian Santana. Auburn infield shifts a bit to the left side for Santana, who actually grounded out to Rembert in front of the bag back in the third. The pitch drops in for a strike. Wow. Chancellor came in, went to 3-1. He has gotten ahead of both hitters since then. He struck out Spyat, he struck out Malpass, and he's ahead of Santana 0-1. He stretches and pitches. Lifted out of play, right side. 0-2 the count.
There's an old saying that your actions speak so loudly that I can't hear your words. Right now, Abe Chancellor's actions are saying, hey, remember my performance right here, Butch Thompson. And that's how it's supposed to be. You get your opportunities, you want to make the most of them.
0-2 to Santana, the pitch. Ooh. Up and in. Buzz the tower with a fastball there.
There's something to that.
1-2 the count.
There's some purpose behind that.
Chancellor stretches. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Swinging. He strikes out the side. 8 strikeouts tonight for Auburn pitching. K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1. To the bottom of the 6th, Auburn 9, Alabama State nothing. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Alabama Power is here for you when big storms hit, but we're also here for the students. We're there to get the coffee started, to make sure everyone's ready for school, For midday dance break and evening entertainment. We're also there to help you save on all that energy with easy-to-use tips, tools, and efficiency programs. So enjoy these moments.
Good night.
And we'll do the rest. Visit alabamapower.com and follow us on social to learn more.
Created a comfortable home office. Now let Carrier provide the cash bonus. For a limited time, you can claim up to $1,550 in rebates on a qualified Carrier home comfort system. There's never been a better time to upgrade to year-round premium comfort and energy savings. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Bottom of the sixth, Auburn 9, Alabama State nothing. Auburn baseball brought to you in part by East Alabama Health. With their spacious cancer center, patients can make cancer a distant memory instead of a distant drive. That's why East Alabama Health is on field advantage. 10-run rule is in effect if necessary tonight. Tigers lead at 9-0. And will send Gregorio, McCrane, and Steele to the plate. In the sixth, Auburn has out-hit Alabama State tonight. 13 hits for Auburn. Gregorio is a 1 for 2. The pitch to him. Outside and high for ball 1. Leffler, the pitcher right now for Alabama State. Gregorio drives one to right, back at the warning track, and caught just up against the wall, right? Yes, it was. Horizon with the catch out there and right.
He opened his glove up, and he's really close to trapping that ball against the wall. I'd love to see a replay of that.
Just in front of that Gregorio. It was a snow cone, but he didn't make the catch. Nice play out there, right. One out for Brandon McCrane. Stretching the pitch. Away and off the catcher's foot. McCrane, 3 for 3 on the night. He singled to the left twice, singled to right once. A stolen base and 2 runs scored tonight for the Auburn freshman shortstop. (1-0). Swing and a miss. By the way, Jack's has cheesy tots.
Is the cheese on the inside or the outside?
The outside.
Ah.
So you still have the actual structure of the tot, you see. 1-1. Out in front, a ball and 2 strikes. Nine runs, 13 hits, no errors for Auburn. Zeros on the board right now for Alabama State. Bottom of the sixth, Auburn 9, Alabama State nothing. A ball and 2 strikes to McCrane. Here's the pitch. Pitches down and spoils a pretty good pitch and fouls it back.
But the thing is, Andy, you're going to lose the integrity of the crispiness of the outer edge on the tot if you go cheese.
Well, it's a decision you have to make,
You got to make that. I guess ketchup does the same thing.
Yeah. Don't overthink it, John. Don't overthink it.
That's why it's got to be consumed at a rapid rate.
Absolutely. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leffler lost his balance coming off the hill there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Selma, Alabama's Brandon McCrane. That's Salem, Alabama's Brandon McCrane. The 2 pitch. Here it is.
Look at that.
4 for 4. A single through the left side for McCrane. Four-hit night for Brandon. That's got to be his first in an Auburn uniform. We'll double-check that.
And, Andy, he has sprayed it all over the yard today. I mean, in every direction.
Yep. Had 3 hits 3 times this season, so this is his first 4-hit night of his Auburn career. And here's Lucas Steele. Crane with the lead at first, the stretch and the pitch, and Steele takes it outside and high.
Come on, Lucas. He deserves for someone to fall for him here. He's hit so many balls hard.
1-0 the count to Steele. McCrane at first, one out. Chopper foul, got the catcher. A ball and a strike. Auburn baseball brought to you in part by Wind Creek Casino. Action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. Wind Creek Casino. Find your moment. 1-1 the count to Steele. McCrane with his lead at first. 1-1 pitch. A little bit up. 2 balls and a strike to the Auburn catcher. Thoughts about tater tots in a breakfast burrito or casserole?
It's just about that. Brad Law's weighing in.
Yeah, he is. I knew this would be too much for him not to. Go to first. McCrane is back.
Again, is the burrito gonna mess with the integrity of the crispy outer edge?
I believe it will.
Then I'm gonna have to go nay on that.
I agree with you. 2-1. Strike called in the inside corner to Steele. But I have to be honest with you. I'm not in favor of burrito, period.
Oh.
Yeah.
Burritos at all or breakfast
none.
burritos?
Forget it.
Ooh.
I know. Unusual.
I'm a big fan.
Of me or the burrito?
Well, both.
Okay.
Oh,
high
yeah.
and deep to right. If it stays fair, it's gone. It's off the top of the Donnie. A 2-run homer for Lucas Steele. Second home run of the year for Steele. A bomb down the right field line. And Auburn will go on top 11-0.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely hammered, and just so happy that Lucas deserves that. He's really had some productive outs and just hadn't fallen for him. And that one didn't need to fall, did it? That one didn't need to find grass. That found rooftop.
Yes, it did. His third run score of the night, 10 RBIs on the season, second home run, 386 feet down the right field line off the bat of Steele. And now to the top of the order, and here's Carter. The Tigers lead 11-0 with 1 out in the 6th inning. The pitch in there for a strike. Two-run homer to right by Steele. 3 2-run homers tonight for Auburn. The pitch. Carter takes it low. 2-run homers for Guevara, Terrell, and Steele.
Very unselfish night for Bristol Carter. Did some really good baseball things, moving runners, disrupting.
Now the 1-1. Chopper up the middle. Shortstop to his left. Throws to first. Gets Carter by a step. Nicely played by Devine to get Bristol at first. Now 2 outs.
And I'm just guessing from the way I'm looking at this. That guy's running 4 1s down the line 4 times tonight. He's giving it all he's got. It doesn't matter who he's playing against. He's going to give you the same thing every night. That's pretty quality stuff.
2 down for Chase Fraley. 2 runs home for Auburn in the inning. Tigers lead at 11-0. Alabama State will try to extend the game in the top half of the 7th. Leffler comes set. Here's the pitch to Fraley. It misses low for ball 1. Chase has been on base twice tonight, has lined out twice, but has walked and been hit by a pitch. Getting a night off behind the plate, letting Lucas Steele hit. He responds with 3 runs scored and a 2-run homer. The pitch. There's a strike, a ball and a strike to Chase.
It's not a bad breaking ball by Leffler. The spin rate is 23.45. That's a solid number on a breaking ball.
2 outs, nobody on for Auburn. Bottom of the 6th, 11-0 Tigers. The pitch to Fraley. And again, spins in there for strike 2.
I can tell you this. Jacob Leffler doesn't want to have to face what's on deck there. He wants to get this done right here.
Guevara is the one on deck. A ball and 2 strikes to Fraley. Here comes the pitch. Missed the outside corner, not by much. 2-2 the count. 4 Alabama State. The top of the order in the 7th. Chandler, Devine, and Oropaiza. Stretch. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Fralick, first base side. Just foul. Wow. Off the glove of Jackson Williams. Ball was ripped. Williams fielded the ball just in foul ground. It's where the ball is, not where the body is. That was just foul, according to the first base umpire, Kevin Sweeney.
Just getting a glove on that was a chore.
Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch. Here's the 2-2. Fralick to the first baseman, by the first baseman, and into right field. Even playing that far over with the first baseman and the second baseman, he squeezed one through for his first hit of the night. Third time he's been on base tonight. And here is Guevara.
Andy, does everybody in our lineup have a hit tonight?
That completes it. That single by Fralick gives every starter tonight at least 1 hit, including a 4-for-4 night for Brandon McCrane. Now here's Guevara. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first. Doubled and scored in the third. 2-run homer in the fourth. And a drive to deep left field. That is gone. Just snuck over the War Eagle wall and left. Guevara's second 2-run round tripper of the night.
I told you didn't want to face that guy on deck. I mean, that was a line drive over the War Eagle wall.
And then Fuego continues tonight for Eric Guevara.
Goodness. I mean, how long do you even think that ball was even in flight?
374 feet.
That ball got out of here in a hurry.
The only question, did it have enough elevation to get over the wall?
That's about the only elevation. You're right. I mean, my goodness, you can't hit a ball harder than that.
A 2-homer night for Guevara, 13-0 Tigers. And here's Rembert. Takes a strike. Whew. Stretch by Leffler. And the pitch. Swing and a miss by Rembert.
Yeah, it's almost, you see the ball off the barrel and you almost want to scream heads up to the people on top of the War Eagle wall.
Absolutely.
I mean, wow.
0-2 the count to Rembert. 2 outs, nobody on. 13-0 Auburn, the pitch. A little bit up, a ball and 2 strikes to Rembert. 13 runs on 17 hits tonight for Auburn. And we're in the 6th.
Something moving that fast ought to have a flight attendant on it.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. 4 more runs in the inning. 2-run homers by Lucas Steele and Eric Guevara for Guevara, his second of the night. We go to the 7th. Auburn 13, Alabama State nothing. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Looking for legendary wings, mouth-watering burgers, and unbeatable pizza for your next big event? Baumhauer's Catering is here to satisfy your cravings. From tailgates, birthdays, to office lunches and weddings, boost your event with delicious flavors of Baumhauer's Catering. We offer pickup or delivery, or choose our full-service catering that includes setup and staff. Don't have space for your big event? We can even host you in our dedicated party space. Baumhauer's Victory Girl Catering. Legendary flavors, zero hassle. War Eagle.
Strike out ants, termites, and other pests with a call to Cook's Pest Control. Cook's proven pest control methods and superior termite control system keep your home safe and are backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. As the weather gets warmer, your spring cleaning isn't done. You call the official pest control partner of the All Tigers, Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, looky, looky. Here comes Pest Control.
We go to the 7th. Auburn on top, 13-0. And Auburn will go to the bullpen to try and close things out here in the 7th inning. A Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen for the Tigers. And Auburn goes to Ethan Harden. No record on the year, a 6.75 earned run average, making his 7th relief appearance, 4 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned on 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, a walk, a homer, and opponents hitting .253 against Ethan Harden. Redshirt junior lefty, 6 foot, 198, transfer from Belmont, originally out of Franklin, Tennessee. When the boss wants tots, the boss gets tots delivered to the booth.
By Rob Wellbaum.
Yeah, no kidding.
Vice President, Auburn University for Advancement. Rob Wellbaum, thank you very much.
All right, nothing but zeros on the board right now for Alabama State. Devin Chandler will lead it off. He is 0 for 2 on the night. Stretch in the pitch. Fastball for a strike. Pitch on the way. Just missed low. Chandler, or rather Harden, the 4th pitcher of the night for Auburn. Really good stint for Abe Chancellor. 1 inning, no runs, no hits, struck out 3. Now the 1-1 to Chandler. Ball high, 2-1.
And let me tell you something. If anybody in this world who can hear my voice thinks that the folks in the white uniforms in the Auburn dugout aren't locked into this half inning, you would be wrong because they are locked in.
2-1. Oh, just missed the inside corner. 3 balls and a strike to Chandler.
There's strong encouragement going on.
3 balls and a strike to Chandler. Here's the pitch. Chopper left side, charging Guevara. Fields, throws to first. 1 out. Conecuh smoked sausage, a fan favorite for tailgating. Now you can enjoy a grilled Conecuh sausage dog or a premium hot dog at Plainsman Park, or both. Conecuh, family-owned, made in Evergreen, Alabama since 1947. Make Conecuh sausage part of your game day. 1 down in the top of the 7th. Tigers up 13-0. Here's Devine. First pitch, low, ball 1. Devine is 0 for 2 on the night. He struck out and flied to center. Line in the pitch from Harden. Line drive. There's a base hit to left. Solid single to left, and that's the first base runner of the night. And there goes the perfecto, and there goes the no-hitter.
Well, you certainly didn't want it to be a walk, did you?
No. Or a dribbler or something like that. It was a solid single. Or a pays it to the plate with a runner at first and 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. No chance for Guevara to get to that one at third base. The ball was hit solidly. The time called by the hitter. Stretch. Harden comes set in the pitch. Jammed him and he fouled it back to the screen, 0-2.
That's a good-looking 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Ethan Harden.
Harden working off the stretch, a runner at first. The only base run of the night thus far for Alabama State. Here comes the pitch. He tried to hold up on a fastball. He did not. Strike 3. And the Tigers are an out away from a run rule win and a second straight shutout win tonight.
Can you imagine, Andy, how much pressure was on Ethan Harden? I mean, in a 13-0 game to feel that kind of pressure. And he's done everything he's supposed to do is fill up the strike zone with a lead.
Here's Nigel Jenkins with a runner at first and 2 outs. Harden to close things out tonight for the Tigers. Pitch. Drops in for a strike on the off-speed delivery. Stretch in the 0-1. High with the fastball. 1-1 the count. Braden Devine broke up the no-hitter, the perfect game in the 7th with a single to left. He's at first now with 2 outs, and Auburn leading 13-0. The pitch. Tried to hold up on that one. He did. The ball got away from Steele, And the runner moves down to second base. I'm not sure that'll be a pass ball or a wild pitch.
That was difficult to steal because that swing got right in front of him. I mean, that was a swing.
So two balls and a strike. Harden comes set. Here's the 2-1. High and away. 3 balls and a strike. Tigers trying to get to 25 and 11 before it goes to Gainesville, Florida. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday series starts Thursday evening at 6. 5:45 the call with Brad Law. Swing and a miss. Count goes full with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Andy, how about a ground ball to shortstop? The young man's got 4 hits tonight. He can finish it off.
Full count now to Jenkins. Tigers a strike away, an out away from a shutout victory as Harden comes set. And the 3-2 pitch, high and outside. Runner goes to third, and Jenkins goes to first. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. That's the first walk surrendered tonight by Auburn pitching. So 2 runners on, runners at first and third, and Trey Calloway to the plate. He's fouled to right, he's grounded to third. Stretched by Harden in the pitch. Line drive into right field, long run Bingaman. He is there, Auburn wins. For a second straight game, the Tigers not only win, they win in shutout fashion, they win in run rule fashion. The final score tonight, Auburn 13, Alabama State nothing. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Tiger pride. When I'm carrying the Auburn University Regents Visa debit card or prepaid Regents Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra Auburn here or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra War Eagle from the cashier too. Visit Regents.com/Go Tigers to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
This game recap is presented by Regions Bank. Regions is a proud partner of Auburn University and the official bank of the SEC.
Final score tonight, Auburn wins it 13-0 against Alabama State. John Cohen, Auburn did what it needed to do.
Just an efficient performance by a club that's got to go play well this weekend. Gainesville, I think Butch has got to be very pleased with what he saw out of a pitching staff and a lineup today.
Final score tonight, Auburn 13, Alabama State nothing. Stay tuned. This is the Auburn Sports Network.
Looking for a street legal golf car? Diamond Golf Cars has the largest selection in the state, and the Auburn store is right off of Lucker Road, closer than you think. With locations in Auburn, Birmingham, and Huntsville, they've been raising the bar since 2012 in golf car sales and service. Need a tune-up? Diamond Golf Cars is full service for all your golf car needs, and they offer pickup and delivery, carrying brands such as EasyGo, Club Car, Yamaha, and much more. Visit DiamondGolfCars.com today and drive different. Drive Diamond.
The Goose Performing Arts Center at Auburn University is Alabama's premier destination for the arts, bringing you the very best of Broadway, dance, music, and more.